everyone, my name is Lucky Chittopali, and today we will be going over some SAT math problems in the No Calculators section. So, our first practice problem is, in a right triangle, one angle measures x degrees where sine x degrees is 4 over 5. What is the cosine of 90 degrees minus x degrees? There are many ways to solve this problem, but the simplest way would be acknowledging the complementary angle relationship between sine and cosine. The relationship is sine of x degrees is equivalent to cosine of 90 degrees minus x degrees. So this would be equivalent to, since we know sine x is 4 over 5, 4 over 5 would equal cosine 90 degrees minus x degrees. Because of this, the question is asking what is cosine of 90 degrees minus x degrees. Therefore, our answer is simply 4 over 5. Another method we could use is that we can create a right triangle that has an angle measure of x degrees so that sine x is 4 over 5 and sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So that's where we're placing our numbers, and this is unnecessary, but we know this is a Pythagorean triple, so our other side would be 3. Sorry, this is totally not drawn to scale. It would be better if the 3 and 4 switched places, but for now we'll leave it like this. And obviously, since this is a right triangle, this angle would have to be 90 degrees. And in order to find the third side, we know that a triangle is 180 degrees. So to find the third side, all we need to do is subtract 180 degrees minus 90 degrees minus x degrees, which would be the 90 degrees minus x degrees as in the cosine 90 degrees minus x degrees. So we could write this, and in this figure we can clearly see that cosine of the 90 degrees minus x degrees is also 4 over 5, because this is our angle right here, and cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and that clearly is also 4 over 5, and that is how we get our answer in our second method. So for our next problem, we have two equations, x plus y equals -9 and x plus 2y equals -25. And according to the system of equations above, what is the value of x? So first of all, there are three methods to solving a system of linear equations. There is a substitution method, elimination method, and graphing method. But here we see that x and x are both by itself and like terms, so we can easily eliminate that. So let's start right now. we can start by writing the equations. X plus 2y equals negative 25, and x plus y equals negative 9. So if we were to subtract this, we would just have x minus x is 0, 2y minus y is just y, and negative 25 minus negative 9, which is basically just negative 25 plus 9, would be negative 16. So we would get y equals negative 16. Now the next step is to subtract our y value into the equation. So we'll plug in y, which is, we will rewrite the first equation first. So x plus y equals negative 9, and we know that y is negative 16, so let's just plug that in. X plus negative 16 equals negative 9. And now let's add 16 to both sides, so that would be x equals negative 9 plus 16. So x would just equal positive 7. So usually SAT problems ask for both the coordinates x and y, but in this problem the question is just asking what is the value of x, and we solved that and we got x equals 7 as our answer. And if you wanted to make sure, we could always plug in both of the values into one of the equations. Say, let's take the second equation, which is, x plus 2y equals negative 25, and we know that x is 7 plus 2 times y, which is negative 16, equals negative 25. And to simplify, we would have 7 plus 2 times negative 16, which is negative 32, equals negative 25. And 7 plus negative 32 would just be negative 25 when simplified. So we get negative 25 equals negative 25. So our value of x is in fact correct, so x equals 7. Okay, so for our next problem, we have g of x equals x squared plus 24. And for the function g defined above, a is a constant and g of 4 equals 8. What is the value of g of negative 4? And the options are a, 8, b, 0, c, negative 1, and d, negative 8. So right off the bat, the simplest way to solve this is that we automatically know this function. This is because we know that the results would be the same whether or not x was positive or negative. So for an even function, g of x would be equal to g of negative x. And since x is squared, x wouldn't matter if it's negative or positive, because our answer would, our value would still be positive regardless, because you're multiplying it by itself. So since g of 4 is 8, g of negative 4 would also equal to 8, meaning our answer is A. Another method to solve this problem is to solve by substitution. Since here we know that g of 4 equals 8, we can substitute 4 for x and make it equal to 8. So basically we can write this as g of x equals a times 4 squared plus 24, which would be equal to 16a, because 4 squared is 16, plus 24, and we know that g of 4 equals 8, so we can substitute g of x for 8 and write this as 8 equals 16a plus 24. And now we can simplify by subtracting 24 on both sides, and 8 minus 24 would be negative 16, and that would be negative 16 equals 16a, and if we were to divide 16 on both sides, we would get a equals negative 1. So now we can substitute our a value in negative 4. So let's write it out. So g of negative 4 equals our a value, which is negative 1, times negative 4 plus 24, oh my bad, negative 4 squared. So this could be simplified. G of negative 4 equals is negative 16 plus 24. So 24 minus 16 is 8, so we know that g of negative 4 is in fact also 8. So we mark A as our answer. So our next problem is if A equals 5 rad 2 and 2A equals rad 2x, what is the value of x? So first of all, we know A equals 5 rad 2. We can actually substitute 5 rad 2 for A in the 2A equals rad 2x portion. So it would just be 2 times 5 rad 2 equals rad 2x, which would just be 10 rad 2 equals rad 2x after simplified. Next, we would square both sides, so we would get 10 rad 2 squared equals rad 2x squared. And this would simplify to 10 squared times rad 2 squared, which is just 2, equals, rad 2x squared, which would just be the 2x So to further simplify it, we can write it out as 200 equals 2x, which is basically just x equals 100. So x equals 100 is our final answer. Thank you for watching my SAT math practice video regarding the no calculator section, and I hope you enjoyed these problems and learned from them. If you want more, I will be posting more SAT practice problems, and I have posted one before, so check that out. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content. Once again, thank you. Have a wonderful day.